Hello, my friend. Are you ready for another day? Well, 2 days of 21 days of beauty. Today we're talking September 8th and 9th of 2020. So let's go ahead and see what is going to be on sale for 50% off. So let's start with Lily Lashes, House of Lashes, and other lashes. Me with lashes, I am personally a more natural person. I feel like large lashes make me blink a lot, and they also can make my eyes kind of look overwhelmed. And I didn't really see any in here that I thought would be a size that I personally would like, but I have heard really good things about these brands. I think especially these look really interesting, these blinking beauty ones where they're look like they're extra layered almost. They look really cool. But I'm not going to be purchasing any of these. I'm more of a $12.99 for 6 pairs kind of person. So let me go ahead. Iredale's my favorite brand, in case you were curious. All right, let's go to the next one. Juice Beauty always pops up 21 days of beauty, and I like to call this the juice box of skincare. It really is like a juice box. Now, one thing I do want to clarify is in the last video, I accidentally said essential oils instead of extracts, and that was my fault. They are different, so I do apologize for misspeaking on that one. Now, stem cells. Let's just talk for a second. Stem cells are amazing. They can do all kinds of reparative and regenerative and stimulative stuff. But from what I've read, they can only do that for their own species. So like humans need human stem cells, and plant stem cells don't have the same effects from what I've read in humans as they do in plants. So if you're an apple, then maybe some apple stem cells would do well for you. But I have a feeling that if you're an apple, you're probably not listening to this since you don't have any ears. This stuff is so expensive for what you get. It's basically Mott's for tots. I personally don't like citrus oils on my skin, especially the ones seen in here, like the orange and the lemon, and it's just not something that I feel comfortable with. In the top of this, it's mostly juice. But that being said, there actually are some better ingredients in here as well. There's some apple juice, which actually has some moisturizing benefits. There's aloe juice and jojoba oil and glycerin, sunflower seed oil. These are all very basic yet very good ingredients. So it's not worth the price tag, in my opinion. It's just, I don't like lemon in my skincare. I've read things about it being skin sensitizing. Grapefruit, no, I'm just not a fan of Juice Beauty overall. So that is the moisturizer, but just to click on the serum, it's pretty much the same thing. It just claims to be a bit more concentrated, and that's going to be a no thank you from me. Let's just double check on the ingredients. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. No for me on Juice Beauty. I know some of you really like it. No, not me. But you do you. You do what makes you happy. On a more positive note, let's go over to Nudestix. I am not a big fan of their matte lip colors. Those are probably my least favorite products of theirs, but I do really like the eye colors. And the reason why is because they do go on very creamy and they dry down. So I haven't had any problems with any creasing or flaking or anything. These are great for those one and done eye looks, or if you're just looking for 2 colors, you can throw a lighter color on the lid, a little bit deeper up into the crease, tap it out with your fingertips, and you're done. I do feel like they're very expensive for one color to spend $26. At $13, maybe getting 1 or 2, but I just feel like they're just really, really expensive. And I do like the luminous ones and the matte ones. They're both very nice. When we go down to the ingredients, the shade Lilith has carmine in it, which is made from crushed bugs. So if you do not like that ingredient, or if you're sensitive to it, then that is the shade you want to stay away from. Now let's head over to the Lancome. This is the Skin Feels Good Hydrating Tinted Moisturizer. There's only 11 shades and the range doesn't look very good. It looks like it's mostly light, a couple of mediums, and like 1 to 2 deep. So I wish that the shade range was a little bit better. Going down to the ingredients, if you can find your shade, the top of it is water and glycerin. So that's going to pull water into your skin. There is some dimethicone here to seal all of that in, which I'm happy to see. Propanediol, sodium hyaluronate, moringa seed extract. Those are good hydrating and moisturizing ingredients. There's also rose flower extract in here. It is a fragrance, but it also might have some anti-inflammatory properties. There's also regular fragrance in here. So if you're anti-fragrance, this one's going to be a no. But it does, I mean, it looks fine. It doesn't look like anything that's going to be magical or amazing, but it may be effective if you can find your shade. September 9th, I was like, oh, so that wasn't very long. And then I clicked on September 9th. There is so much stuff, especially this one over here, the Woman Founders one. Oh my gosh, I'm going to try to summarize though. So let's go into the Becca primers. I do have a video on primers and how to pick a good primer. So if you want to know more information about this, I will link that video for you down below. But I'm going to kind of zip through these. The Evermatte Poreless Priming Perfector. The only ingredient in here that I can see is anyway primer-like is the magnesium aluminum silicate. It's actually a clay, and they usually use it as a thickener. I know clays are known to absorb oil, but I couldn't find any research that this particular clay does. But in the reviews, I did read that a lot of people were saying that this was good for oily skin. The biggest complaint that I saw was that they said that foundation doesn't lay very well over top of it, that the foundations were clumping or it was pilling up. People were having difficulty blending over top of it. So I don't know. This is a strange formula. I don't know. But again, a lot of reviews from people with oily skin say that it's good, and it does have parabens in it. I know that there's a lot of mixed thoughts about parabens. I personally don't have a problem with them based on the research that I've done and the debunked research that was twisted and misconstrued to say that parabens were bad, but I know that there are a lot of people that still believe that they're bad because of other research, so you just have to decide what is right for you on that one. Now, the rest of them do not have parabens. Let's go ahead and go into the Backlight Priming Filter. So at the top of this, we do have some hydrating ingredients. There's silica to absorb oil. There's moisturizing ingredients. There are lots of different fragrances in here. I would imagine that it's the mica in here that's giving the glowy look. It looks like more of a prep product rather than one that would make makeup last longer or fill pores. And this one is pretty similar in the top. The beginning ingredients of the First Light Priming Filter are pretty much the same as the last one, but then they add some very different things in the middle and the bottom. So we have ginger root extract, which is an antioxidant, anti-inflammatory. There's prickly pear, which is skin soothing and hydrating. There's sodium hyaluronate, which is a humectant. They have that silica in there to absorb oil. Again, lots of different fragrances in here. It does look best for dehydrated skin to prep for makeup. That's what I would recommend this for. Again, I don't see any pore filling properties of this. It just more looks like something you would use in order to prep your skin. You definitely want to top this with a silicone-based foundation so that you can seal in the humectant, the water that's collecting into your skin from the humectant, so you don't start pulling water out of the air. So don't wear this alone. Definitely use this. It's not recommended to wear alone, but definitely use this with something that has silicones in it, and most foundations do. And then finally, we have the Skin Love Brighten and Blur Primer. I don't see a lot of brighten. I definitely see some blur in here. It definitely looks more like a pore filling primer and one that would extend makeup wear. I've noticed there's a trend when there is a primer that has more silicones in it. It usually tends to extend the wear of the foundation. I don't know if that's just me observing and that's not actual science. And there's also glycerin in here, which is humectant. It's going to pull water into the skin. And it looks like it definitely would do a little bit of pore filling with the silica and the silicones in there. So depending on what you're looking for in a primer, you may find that you're interested in one more than the other. And hopefully this gave you some good information on picking one if you were interested in a Becca primer. So moving on to MAC, let's talk about the Prep and Prime Lip Primer. I do like this very much. I do own it. I do also have a video on lip balms and how to pick a good lip balm. I will link that below as well. This is basically going to be a protecting lip balm. It's not going to moisturize or fix any problems with lips, and I don't believe that it claims to. It's silicones and waxes. It's going to lock in your existing moisture and hydration, protect from further drying, but it's not meant to be a lip balm. It's just kind of supposed to be a nice base for lip products, and the ingredients do back that up. And honestly, I don't have much to say about the lip pencil except for that I wish that there were more shades. Maybe when it actually goes on sale on that day, they'll have more shades. It looks like a very typical lip pencil formula. The only thing that stood out was that it does have carmine in it, which is what we talked about earlier with the Crush Bug. So if you're not interested in that, then you won't be interested in this. And then we get to, oh my gosh, the women-owned brands. So So many products. So I'm really going to spend more time on the products that I've tried because I've actually tried quite a few of these. Let's start with the Beauty Bakerie baking powder. Now, I was a little confused by this because I've always called this the flour setting powder, but it's listed as the flour baking powder. So I was wondering if it was the same product or not. If you look at the second image, it does say the flour setting powder on the bag. So I'm thinking it is the same product as the one that I've used. I really like this a lot. It is a very basic setting powder. It works so well for me and my normal skin. It looks beautiful over every foundation that I have ever used it with. Based on the ingredients, it does have cornstarch in it that could absorb some oil. So if that's you, you may like this as well. I don't think I've ever met anybody that doesn't like this setting powder. It's really nice. It does everything that I think that it should do for me and my preferences, and I love that it comes in so many shades. It's a really nice product. The UOMA Beauty Say What Foundation. I do have a full review of a bunch of UOMA Beauty products that I will link down below if you're interested. There's 51 shades here, and there's actually 6 different formulations. They have full descriptions of everything on the UOMA Beauty website if you are interested in learning about that. They actually catered to different skin tones and what typical skin types are for different skin tones. And I hadn't really realized that that was a thing because I've always heard of different skin types with the same skin tone. I don't know. I was really confused by that. But then the more that I did reading about it, I was like, wow, this is absolutely genius. I learned so much from doing this video. What I found, just the quick summary, is that it is a very buildable foundation. You can make it very light, but you can also make it medium. You can make it more full coverage. It is a long-wearing foundation. It is a soft matte finish. It's just a beautiful product, and there's 51 shades, and they are such a beautiful gradient of shades. Just really, really nice. So yes, definitely, I really enjoy this foundation, and yeah, full review will be down below if you want to hear more about it. The Indie Lee toner. This is the first high-end toner that I ever used in my life. I got it in a Beautylish Lucky Bag many years ago. I forget when, a long time ago. And I really liked it a lot. One thing that I love about it is it has the aloe leaf juice, so it's nice and skin calming. It also has that coenzyme Q10, which is an antioxidant, and it can also, well, it may also, I can't say it will, but it may also encourage collagen production within the skin. There's also hyaluronic acid in here, which is that humectant to pull water into the skin. It's really, you know, the traditional definition of a toner is something that is going to either be an astringent or it's going to help pH balance. This doesn't really seem like that to me. It definitely has a watery consistency that is like a toner, but I would say this is more of a serum than a toner. And I really liked it a lot when I had it. I enjoyed it very much. But you definitely want to top this with a moisturizer that has some good butters or oils in it to make sure that hyaluronic acid gets locked in so that you don't end up evaporating the water from your skin out of your skin. So as long as you use it with a moisturizer, it should be fine. But I really do like this product. It's very nice. I'm going to skip a little bit and go to the other product just while we're talking about it. They have them kind of out of order on the website, at least as I'm filming this. The Brightening Cleanser. When I look down at the ingredients for this, the cleansers in here look very gentle, which is nice to see. So this will probably be great for either non-makeup days or for a second cleanse. I love that it isn't loaded up with a ton of ingredients in here. And it looks very nice, especially if you're looking for something to use after you've taken your makeup off, just to make sure your skin is nice and cleansed. All right, Jane Iredale. I don't know much about Jane Iredale. Have you tried Jane Iredale products before? I haven't really tried much from them. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. This is the Glow Time Full Coverage Mineral BB Cream, which is kind of the anti-BB cream from what I've experienced personally. Usually the BB creams that I have are at most a medium coverage, but this one claims to be full coverage and the reviews do back that up. Now, one critique I have of this is the shade range looks very sad. It looks like mostly light with some deeper shades thrown in there, which it makes me sad. I wish that it was more inclusive there. The SPF in here is coming from titanium dioxide, and that's one of those ingredients that if you were using it in a traditional sunscreen, it is the one that could leave, well, one of them, it could leave a white cast. But because of the pigment in there, chances are it's just going to add to that pigmentation, giving that white base. It does protect from UVA and UVB rays, which is great. I've said this multiple times. This is my opinion. I would never use this as your sole sun protection, but it's really nice to layer over top of a true sunscreen. That way you get even more extra protection. One thing to note is there are quite a few coconut derivatives high up, so I want to mention that in case you're allergic to it. This is a relatively typical foundation formula looking at it, except for that it adds some citrus extracts like grapefruit and bitter orange, which I'm not a fan of. Again, I don't like citrus extracts on my skin. There are, however, some hydrating ingredients like apple extract and sunflower seed oil that I do like, and then some antioxidants that are great like green tea and honeysuckle flower extract. They're all on the reviews. There's a lot of people saying how full coverage it is. So you just kind of have to decide whether this is something you're in the market for. It doesn't look bad in any way, except for that it's got the citrus extracts that I'm not a fan of, but oh, and the shade range sucks. Other than that, looks pretty nice. Okay, they have a ton of Zoeva products, eyeshadow palettes, and cheek products. I have tried, I believe it was the Caramel Melange eyeshadow palette that I tried. This was my opinion of it. I thought they were fine shadows. They worked fine. They blended nicely. They were relatively easy to use. I didn't find that the formula lasted all day, but it could have been the primer that I was using. It could have been in my application. I don't know. They were just very calm, everyday kinds of shadows. I didn't find anything spectacular about this line. The color stories are quite typical. There's just nothing that stands out to make me go, wow, about these eyeshadow palettes or the formula. Nothing about them makes me go, yes, this is something I want to use every day. But if you're looking for a decent shadow palette with a relatively typical color story, then maybe you'll be interested in it. It's not bad. It's just not anything I would go out of my way to purchase. And then the cheek products, I have not tried any of these, but they look to be actually a similar formula to the eyeshadows, which I thought was very interesting. If you've tried any of these, definitely feel free to leave your thoughts down below. And then finally, we have Petite and Pretty. We have the volumizing mascara and the clear mascara and brow gel. Mascara formulas are something I'm still learning about to try to figure out what the ingredients actually mean. Usually there's some waxes and things to make them more volumized, give you some length. But I don't really trust my knowledge of these ingredients and what they do in a mascara, so I'm not going to go too deep into it. But I did read the reviews, and the positive reviews say that its strength is giving length and curl to the lashes and that it looks very natural, but the negative reviews complain of flaking. So keep that in mind, and of course the reviews are there if you wanted to read more yourself. And then finally, the Featherlight Clear Mascara and Brow Gel. I don't know, unless you're just trying to maybe prep your lashes for mascara, I didn't see anything that would add volume or length or anything, but I can kind of see where this might be a good brow gel in that it does have PVP in it, which is the plastic that's used in peel-off face masks. So that'll probably give your brows some hold, but I don't really see how that would be great in something that you would put on your eyelashes. So yeah, I mean, maybe for a brow gel, but probably not for clear mascara. At least that's my thought just from looking at the ingredient list. I've never tried it. So anyway, that is everything for September 8th and 9th. I will be back in 2 days to talk about the 10th and the 11th. And I'm so glad you're enjoying these little bite-sized reviews and thoughts on these different products. It is so much easier for me to do it this way. So thank you for also liking it this way so that I can continue to do it this way instead of having it all together. My brain actually starts turning into mushy goo as I research this stuff. So it's actually nice to only do it 2 days at a time so I don't feel completely just like by the end of it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and mad love to you, and I will see you in a video very, very soon. Bye!